We are poolplaza.com, and we're going to talk to you about water testing and the importance of water chemistry in maintaining your pool, keeping a beautiful pool, and preventing maintenance and equipment problems in the pool. There are many ways to test the water in the swimming pool. The most common and one of the better known methods is to use a complete test kit that includes liquid reagents. This is a complete test kit used by pool professionals and some homeowners. It includes test reagents for chlorine, pH, alkalinity, calcium, and cyanuric acid. Another way to test pool water is with test strips. That's a much easier way than using the liquid reagents. All you need is to dip a test strip in the water, and colors on the test strip will change, and then you match those colors up to the color chart that comes with the test strips. We're going to talk about problems that exist with your pool water that would require you to test the water and make chemical adjustments. Some of these problems may be caused by other outside influences such as the filter and the pump, but most of these problems are directly the result of bad water chemistry. Cloudiness in the water can be a problem caused by the filter or the pump, but most often it is a water chemistry problem. Sometimes the water may turn green or have some other color tint to it, and sometimes algae growth may be seen in the water or on the plaster. These are also problems caused by water chemistry. If the plaster has stains or spots on it, this is another reason to test your water to determine what's causing those stains and get rid of them. If people complain that their eyes burn or that their skin itches, or if someone goes in the pool in the spa and their clothing or even their hair changes color when they come out, this indicates that you need to test the water. Sometimes you'll notice on the tile or on the plaster itself that there are little white surfaces accumulating that are hard, like a piece of rock or concrete, and this indicates again that you need to test the water. Sometimes you will have problems with pool equipment like a heater where it springs pinhole leaks and has other problems that create leaks, and sometimes you'll have equipment such as a pool cleaner that gets brittle or the parts start breaking very easily, and this is another indication that you need to do water testing. Whenever you're testing water, always start off with the chlorine test if you use chlorine or a salt system for your pool. Then proceed to the pH test, as those are the two most important areas where chemical problems exist. When you have cloudy water, in addition to chlorine and pH, you need to test for calcium, cyanuric acid, or pool chlorine stabilizer, and the total dissolved solids in the water. Since most people are not going to have a test kit that tests for total dissolved solids, you may want to take a water sample to a local pool store and get them to test for you and give you the results. If your water has a green tint or some other color tint than the clear color it normally has, you may want to test for some of the items on this next chart. In addition, if you see algae growth either in the water or on the plaster or the tile line, you also will want to test for the things included in this list. The first test, of course, has to be for chlorine, the sanitizer, because chlorine level should be adequate to prevent algae growth. The next item that you need to test for is the chlorine stabilizer level. If you don't have a chlorine stabilizer level that is adequate, the chlorine that's produced in the pool or that's put in the pool may not stay there. It may evaporate out. If the high level of pH exists, then it may be difficult for the chlorine to act even when the chlorine is in the water. Alkalinity is a chemical that helps to cause stable pH level, and if the alkalinity is off, the pH may also be off, and it may be hard to adjust the pH. Test also for phosphates. Phosphates are basically a food for algae, and if you have phosphates in the pool, you need to get rid of them as much as possible. Again, if you don't have a test kit that can test for phosphates, take a water sample to a local pool store. Plaster staining is a particularly difficult problem to deal with but it's one that needs to be dealt with quickly in order to eliminate the problem and prevent it from getting worse and perhaps impossible to fix. If you see plaster staining around pool returns, you need to check the chlorine and pH levels before you check anything else. In addition, staining in other areas may indicate the presence of metals such as copper and iron in the water, so you need to test for copper and iron as well. Low pH levels combined with metal problems can create serious problems of staining in the pool that you may not be able to deal with. If you don't have a copper or iron test kit, take a water sample to a dealer or a pool store and let them test it for you. If people swimming in the pool complain about burning eyes or itchy skin, or if their clothing or hair changes color, you need to start with the test for pH and combined chlorine. Combined chlorine is the chlorine that's already been used and is normally eliminated when you shock the pool. Low pH can cause burning and irritation of the eyes and skin. High pH can create conditions where people may get particles of debris that's been created in the pool in their eyes. High levels of combined chlorine also will create an unpleasant odor in the pool that can be eliminated by shocking the pool. Also, when you have hair color and clothing color changes, you need to test for metals in the water like copper and iron. Sometimes you'll notice the hard buildup of calcium deposits on tile or the plaster itself. When this is true, test the water for the calcium levels. The high calcium levels usually contribute to the deposits that you see. Low calcium levels can mean that your plaster is going to get soft or that it will start pitting and have holes in it. Neither of those conditions can be allowed to exist, or you'll suddenly find yourself needing to replaster the pool or have the tile line scraped or chiseled to get that off. Check the calcium level and make corrections. The most important part of the water chemistry to test regularly is the pH. Very low pH can seriously damage pool equipment and pool surfaces. The equipment such as a heater can be readily destroyed if the pH is low for even a short period of time. It's possible if you have chronically low pH for a brand new heater to be completely destroyed in less than 3 months. In addition, pool cleaners can become brittle and the parts may need to be replaced often if you have pool pH that's very low. If you want more information about water testing and water chemistry, there is a section on the Pool Plaza website called the Online Pool School that deals with water chemistry. In addition, we have a separate video that deals with water testing, the proper techniques for water testing, and how to make the adjustments that you see need to be made. Remember that you can always call Pool Plaza for technical assistance at 214-221-6900, and you can email us at info@poolplaza.com.